going on?
On Thursday, March 29th, we'd received a call at Wood Lake Nature Center that a baby great horned owl had fallen from its nest. We went over to check and see its condition. In these photos, Scott and Amy are checking over the owl to make sure it wasn't injured by its long fall. Despite falling from a large white pine, the owl was uninjured, so we made a new nest for it out of a wooden bucket and some shavings at the bottom to keep it nice and soft. Amy is in the process of tying metal wire around the handles so we can tie this into a tree. By putting the owl up in a tree, it will ensure that no predators like cats, raccoons, coyotes, or even a red-tailed hawk that was circling above us will be able to get at this owl. Also, this will provide a safe place that the parents can come to continue to feed this baby owl. We had to make a new nest for the owl because the old nest on top of a several 100-foot tall white pine was just too high for us to reach. It really is amazing that baby owls can survive falls of such great height. It shouldn't be a problem to meet a new tree because they're quite vocal, as you can hear here.
You should be able to make enough noise.
Now, that noise will attract the parents to the new tree we put the nest in, so they'll continue to feed it. In addition, as it gets older, it'll start to hiss and scream really loudly. So if you're ever out at night and you hear a strange screaming or hissing noise, don't get creeped out. It's just a baby owl begging for food from its parents. Scott is now putting the nest into the new tree. We chose a red cedar that was nearby the white pine for several reasons. First, we couldn't get up to the branches in the white pine that the baby had fallen out of in order to tie the nest up there. It would have been too exposed if we had put it anywhere on that white pine because we couldn't get up to the branches. This red cedar has nice thick branches that will protect the nest. This will keep it safe from weather, such as high winds, the sun, and storms. It'll also protect it from the eyes of predators. It'll be much harder for a hawk, a crow, or a climbing animal to come and find this baby owl and eat it. So this red cedar was really an ideal choice for the nest. As I said earlier, even though it's not in the same tree, that shouldn't be a problem. The calls of the baby owl will attract the parents to it, and they will continue to come and feed the baby. Scott tied it with the metal wire to several thick branches, rested on top of another branch, so it's very sturdy and secure up there. Even in heavy wind, the baby shouldn't have to worry about falling out of this nest. After spending several minutes making sure the nest was secure, Scott checked on the owl one more time, posed for a picture, then climbed down. The owl should be nice and secure up in that nest, and it'll be safe from predators. The residents who called us about the owl have promised to continue monitoring the owl to make sure it's doing okay. They recently called and told us that the parents visited the owl that very night and have been feeding it mice. Since the parents are taking care of it, we know the owl will be okay. It should grow into a nice, big, great horned owl. Yeah, I think that'd be a good spot for it. Thanks to the residents who called us at Wood Lake Nature Center to check in on this owl, this baby owl now has a much better chance to grow into this, an adult great horned owl. Unfortunately, baby birds will fall from their nests occasionally. High winds can do it. As they get older, when they're starting to fledge or grow their flight feathers, they'll jump from their nest and not be able to get back into their nest. What can you do to help these birds? Well, if like this bird here, this baby owl, the bird is still fuzzy, that means it still has its down feathers. If it still has all its down feathers covering it, then it's too small and too young to be able to survive by itself. You should look and see if you can find its nest, and if you can, place the baby back in its nest. If you can't find its nest or the nest is too high, you can either try to make its own nest like we did with this baby great horned owl, or you can take it to the animal shelter in Roseville. If, like this baby right here, it's starting to grow its flight feathers, then the baby's learning how to fly, and it can hop to shelter by itself. The best thing to do in this case is to leave this baby alone. The parents will find the baby and continue to feed it, and the baby is old enough that it can scurry away from predators all by itself. If you put it back in its nest, it'll just hop right back out again. To really protect owls, such as this baby that we rescued, and other birds, however, we need to protect nature areas like Wood Lake and other nature preserves. As our human population continues to grow, we need more and more room for our cities, more and more room for our farmlands to grow food for our population, and we're cutting into critical habitat for all kinds of different animals. Without this habitat, these animals cannot survive. They need protected places to call home. To really protect these animals, you can support areas like Wood Lake, you can create habitat within your own backyard, and you can protect policies such as conservation easements on farmland to protect critical habitat. Perhaps the most important thing you can do is make changes in your lifestyle to combat the growing threat of global climate change. Doing things like this will help ensure that we have the habitat and a healthy planet needed so that we can enjoy these animals in the future and our future generations can enjoy them as well. Thank you for watching this video, and I'd encourage you to stop by Wood Lake and experience nature here in Richfield, Minnesota. Enjoy your day.
Oh, baby owl's talking. Where's my mom? How did I end up down here? Oh,
Like,